Do you ever feel like you're just stuck on a hamster wheel? You're working harder than ever, but you're just not getting the results you want? Well, what if I told you the secret to getting extraordinary results isn't about doing more, but actually about doing less? Today, we're going to dive into this simple but honestly powerful idea, how to get incredible results just by focusing on one thing.
This quote it hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? We all have the same 24 hours in a day. So why is it that some people seem to achieve so much more? Well, it's not because they have more time, it's because they're not misusing it. This idea really challenges that number one excuse we all use, and it forces us to look at where we're going, not just how fast we're running.
Okay, so let's talk about something we all know way too well, the busyness trap. It's like we wear our crazy, packed schedules as a badge of honor, right? But what if all that constant activity is the very thing that's holding us back? What if the problem isn't that we're not working hard enough, but that we're working really, really hard on all the wrong things?
And this right here, this is such a crucial insight. The reason we fail isn't a lack of effort. It's because our energy is just scattered everywhere. Imagine trying to fill a bucket that's got, a dozen holes in it. You keep pouring water in, but it just keeps leaking out. That is exactly what happens when our focus is divided. We can pull 12-hour days, feel totally wiped out, and at the end of it all, realize we've made almost no real progress.
So how do we break free from this trap? Well, we have to start by recognizing the lies, the myths we've all been sold about productivity. These ideas are so ingrained in our culture that we just accept them as truth, but guess what? They're the very things holding us back. So let's start tearing them down one by one.
All right, first up, the big one, the myth of multitasking. We all do it, right? We pride ourselves on juggling emails and calls and that big project all at the same time. But here's the hard truth. Multitasking is a total lie. Your brain can't actually do two complex things at once. All it's doing is switching back and forth really, really fast. And every single time it switches, you pay a price in focus and energy. The result? You get things done slower and you make more mistakes. The real superpower is deep, uninterrupted focus on just one thing.
And here's another huge lie. The myth of the balanced life. You know the drill. We're told to give equal attention to everything. Work, family, health, hobbies, all of it. But trying to be a perfect 10 in every single area at once, that's just a recipe for being a 6 across the board. The truth is, extraordinary results demand imbalance. It's about choosing to go all in on your number one priority for a season, knowing you can shift that intense focus to something else later. It's not about neglecting your life, it's about sequencing. So if multitasking and the perfectly balanced life are just productivity lies, what's the truth? Well, the solution is this really simple, elegant idea that just cuts through all the noise and gives you this laser-like focus. It's the power of the one thing.
This is it. This is the single most important question you can possibly ask yourself. I want you to really read it and just let it sink in for a second. What is the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? See, this isn't just a question. It's basically a compass for your life. It's designed to slice right through the clutter and point you straight to the one action that's going to make the biggest difference. Just think about how powerful this one question is. First, it's like a filter. It just gets rid of all the noise. All those shoulds and coulds that are always bouncing around in our heads. Second, it forces you to make a really tough choice and define what your single most important priority actually is. And when you do that, it's almost like magic. It just leads you straight to the right decision and the most powerful action you can possibly take. Okay, so understanding the question is one thing, but applying it, that's where the magic really happens. So how do we actually take this powerful idea and integrate it into our daily lives? Let's get practical. This whole idea is based on what's called the domino effect. I want you to picture your goals as a super long line of dominoes. Now, your job isn't to knock them all down at once. No way. Your job is to pour all your energy into lining up and tipping over that very first one. That's your one thing. If you get that first one right, it creates a chain reaction. It'll knock over the next one, and then the next one, and so on. See, success isn't something that happens all at once. It's built sequentially, one single domino at a time.
Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like it takes superhuman discipline, but it really doesn't. The secret isn't willpower. Because let's be honest, willpower is like a muscle that just gets tired. The real secret is habit. It's about building a non-negotiable habit of blocking out time for your one thing every single day. When you do that, you put your most important work on autopilot. It's not about being disciplined all day, every day. It's about being disciplined for just that one critical block of time.
And this might be the most powerful productivity tool of them all. The word no. Seriously. To protect that sacred time for your one thing, you have to get absolutely ruthless about saying no. No to distractions, no to unimportant meetings, no to all those little requests that pull you away from your real priority. Just remember this. Every time you say yes to something small, you are by default saying no to your most important goal.
Okay, let's bring this all home. The shift we've been talking about here is, well, it's profound. It's about trading a life of just chaotic busyness for one of truly focused action. It's about moving from scattered, frustrating effort to real, meaningful results. When it comes down to it, it's about choosing clarity over chaos.
Look, if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this right here. Stop looking for more hours in the day. It's a losing battle. Instead, look for better focus in the hours you already have. One single hour of pure, uninterrupted concentration is worth more than an entire day of distracted, scattered work. It really is.
It really all boils down to this super simple formula. Step 1. Identify your one thing. Step 2. Give it the focused time it actually deserves. And step 3, and listen, this is the hard part. You have to have the courage to ignore everything else that is screaming for your attention. When you start to live by this formula, success isn't something you have to chase anymore. It just becomes the natural, inevitable result of your focus.
And that brings us to the final and honestly the most important question of all. It's the one that you need to answer for yourself. So, looking at your goals, your career, your life right now, what is your one thing? What is that one single action that will make everything else just fall into place? I'll leave you with that. Think about it.